I think the reason that we like statues so much is because it takes these 2D images and brings them to life. And you know, statues are an interesting thing. A lot of times you find out a storyline and then you want to go buy collectibles about said storyline. But sometimes statues are reversed. You discover the statue first and then you want to learn about the storyline, which is the total opposite of most things. I remember when I was young, first you found porn and then you wanted to find a real woman. The only difference is, once you find a real woman, you don't really want to go back to porn. But you still always want to go back to comics if you have statues. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme Channel, where apparently we talk about porn all the time. So today we are looking at the Dark Knight Metal. So if you're unfamiliar with that, that is a storyline from DC. It's a storyline that created some amazing characters, but most people, myself included, think the storyline is a little dull. It's gonna sound really interesting how I describe it though. So Batman finally kills the Joker. However, the Joker releases a toxin right before he dies, and Bruce Wayne slowly turns into the Joker, or the Batman who laughs, who is absolutely corrupt and wants to bring upon a god using these pieces of metal. And it opens up this multiverse where we see all these different iterations of Bruce Wayne and even some other characters. In a lot of these other worlds, Bruce Wayne has merged with the powers of some of the superheroes. So for example, in one of them, he actually has the Speed Force, so he has the power of Flash. Another one, he has Hal Jordan's ring, so he's the Green Lantern. And most of these have become evil and corrupt. They essentially become Batman Who Laughs groupies to try to take over the world. Ending is very blah, introduction of the characters is awesome, and I got into the storyline after I saw some of the amazing statues that Prime One Studio released. And in full disclosure, I own the entire line, or will own the entire line. I also own some pieces from Queen Studios. We're going to talk all about those today in a countdown. We're going to look at the Prime One Studio Dark Knight Metal statues and figure out which one is the best and rank them in reverse order. Wait. Regular order, worst to best is what we're doing. Now before I talk about the Prime One Studio 1/3 scale statues, a few things I should let you know. Number one, as I said, there are some other studios out there doing it. There's some custom studios. Licensed studios include Queen, where I actually own their Batman Who Laughs on a Throne, and this is quarter scale, so it's smaller than the Prime One. And I also own their Batman piece right here, also from the Dark Knight Metal storyline, quarter scale. Then XM Studios also came out with a number of pieces in quarter scale, and some of those I really liked and some I thought were horrible. But for the entire line, I've been sticking with the 1/3 scale. Because it's not an iteration of Bruce Wayne, even though it's from the Dark Knight Metal story, I will not be talking about this Superman statue. I also don't own it anymore, but if I did, it would probably be near the bottom of the list, meaning towards number 10 or so. Another disclaimer is Prime One Studio is actually doing some death metal, which is a spin-off from this storyline. We're not going to talk about those today. I have zero knowledge about those, other than I know some of them look really cool. So today I'm going to count down every single one they've made. Now some of these aren't released yet. They've just been teased and I've pre-ordered them all. So I'm going to break one of my rules today. I always say you have to have a statue on the table to see how good it is in person. I'm going to guess on some of these, meaning a few that aren't released yet, I'm going to give them a spot in the countdown. Alright, so we're going to start with number 11. Number 11 was my least favorite, and I don't know why. So this is The Drowned. So this is a version where it was actually a female version of Bruce Wayne. She was dating a guy who was killed, so Batman Who Laughs used that, and this person augmented their body to be like Aquaman to defeat all the Atlanteans. So it's a mix of a female Bruce Wayne and Aquaman. Maybe that's why I put it number 11. The story seems the most far-fetched. Grim Knight was number 10. Now, I think this is a great statue. Almost reminds me of a cross with the Punisher, although Punisher is from Marvel. But never really got into this storyline. It wasn't big in the omnibus. So for that reason, I think is the reason I bring it down to number 10. Number 9 is the one I talked about that he had the Green Lantern ring. So this is Dawnbreaker. While this statue is incredibly cool, especially the evil construct on the bottom, and most of these statues that Prime One Studio did are actually based off of a comic cover, and I have all those corresponding 9.8 comic covers. I think this is really cool, but it still doesn't hold up to some of the other ones. Number 8 is a yet to be released one. This is one where Batman is actually transforming into Devastator. So kind of a mix between Doomsday and Batman. And there's another one on this list we're going to look at very similar. This is kind of the companion piece, but it's its own standalone statue. I think this is going to be number 8. Number 7 is actually pretty damn cool. This is where Bruce Wayne merged with Ares, the god of war. So he actually killed Wonder Woman in this as well. This statue is immaculate. It's done so incredibly well. This is one of my more favorite storylines in the Dark Knight Metal, but this comes in a little lower because for some reason in my head it just isn't as good as the other ones, but every time I look at it I'm rethinking that for sure. Number 6 is the one I alluded to earlier. This is where Bruce Wayne is fully transformed into Devastator, aka merged with Doomsday. This is a giant piece. I'm actually going to put him next to Prime 1 Studios' original Doomsday. It'll be interesting to see the size difference. It should be very similar, but I'm really excited to get this. Again, I don't have it yet. It is on PO. Number 5 is when he got the Speed Force. So this is Red Death. Now during this comic line, he was actually evil, then good, then evil again. And there's another variation where he's in gold, not only on the statue form, but it was like that in the comics. Of course, I stuck with the Flash. I really like how dynamic this statue is. I think that's one reason it's much higher. You don't really see 1/3 scale statues this dynamic at all. Plus the base is actually the Batmobile with this Speed Force strapped to it. I think that's pretty neat. Number 4 is the Medieval Joker Dragon. A fantastic piece for sure. Really impressed by this. And the Joker Dragon itself, I think, is kind of what makes it, although the Batman in the medieval armor is awesome as well, and a ton of cool switch outs if you got the deluxe. So, how's my list doing so far? Throw that down in the comments below, because a comment could win you a statue. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one is easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Number 3 is a yet to be released. I think this could be number 1 is Murder Machine. So this is where he mixed with Cyborg. There's some Alfred stuff going on here and some artificial intelligence from the story. And I can't wait to tell you more when I actually get it into review. This will be the last to arrive, I believe. It'll be the longest, so maybe not even in 2024. But nonetheless, super excited. I think he will be number 3. Number 2, also one I'm waiting on. Tons of different switch outs. Harley Who Laughs. Now, as a full disclaimer, I haven't read this part of the comic at all. It wasn't in the omnibus. It wasn't in some of the other single back issues I read, but I did get a matching CGC cover, and I can't wait to get this piece because of all the switch outs, and it's going to be the perfect companion piece, of course, to number 1 is still Batman Who Laughs. In my opinion, one of the best statues Prime 1 Studio has ever done. It's so fantastic. No switch outs because it doesn't need any. And he is the integral part of the story in the Dark Knight Metal. You know, when I first heard about this character years ago, I was like, that's pretty stupid. But then you learn about the storyline leading up to it, and you think it's awesome. So that is my countdown. Did I get it right or wrong? Throw that down in the comments below. Or you can tell me, hey, what's something that the statue got you into the source material instead of vice versa? I really appreciate you guys watching. If you want to see some of those reviews of those statues, you can go back and check them out. Or make sure you've subbed so you see the new ones coming in. Until then, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.